Do I even need to say it anymore? What is up, guys? It's McManchi here. Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be doing the final updates for BookTubeAthon. BookTubeAthon ends today, and I know it's only like 11 o'clock in the morning where I am, but I just wanted to get this video out here because I'm not going to be reading that many. The most I can possibly do is finish the last book I'm going to show you, but even then I had to sit and read all day, and I have other things I've got to do today, so... Anyway, how is everybody doing? It's the end of BookTubeAthon, and I'm gonna have a massive void after this because it's gonna be really sad that this event will go, but I don't really care. It's something that's good to do one week out of the 52-week year. I'm definitely doing the one around Christmas time, even though it's smaller, but I'm definitely happy that I did this. I'm definitely gonna try to do as many athons as possible. And yeah, enough babbling on about how much I love this event. Let's get started with the final update for BookTubeAthon 2016. Alright, so the first book that I read was The Help. Well, not the first book, but the first book I'm going to show you are two books that I read fully, and one of them is The Help by Catherine Stockett. This is, like I said in my previous video when I showed this off, this was massively praised. It's one of the most praised book on Goodreads, and honestly, I'm not the biggest fan of it. I do like this book, but it's definitely not one of my personal favorites. I do love our three main characters, Aibileen, Minnie, and Miss Skeeter. They are fantastic characters. I cannot express my love for them. However, everything else in this book is either heavily flawed or pretty mediocre. The story isn't really that amazing. I love the idea of it, but it's not executed well. And my major problem with this book was that it was half filler. It should not be this long at all. It shouldn't even pass page 300 to make an impactful book. This was just dragged out beyond belief. It was incredibly slow at times. Some points were pointless, thus giving the name filler. And honestly, if you took it and if you had the right editing, you could easily cut down 250 pages of this book. It's not really the most well-constructed book ever written, but I do like the last 100 pages, and the three main characters are great all the way through. So, and I know this was much more character-based and based on interactions, but for me, this was just a diet version of To Kill a Mockingbird. It really wasn't much for me. I did kind of like it, it's mainly because of the three leads, but overall, The Help didn't impress me that much. Alright, the next book I'm going to talk about is a book that is praised a lot on YouTube or BookTube, or at least the side of BookTube that I'm on, and that is Oranges Are Not the Only Fruit by Jeanette Winterson. This may be the most thought-provoking book that I've read so far in BookTubeAthon. This just made me think. This is very religious heavy. This is about a girl named Jeanette who is adopted into this family of evangelicals. I think that's how you pronounce it. And yeah, it's insane. It's absolutely insane. And I really like this book. The characters are very flat, and it just, they're supposed to be awful, but they didn't really written that well, but I love this story, and the writing was gorgeous, and the themes that they tackled made me think. I read this book all in, one sitting, in an hour sitting. It's not long at all. But it made me think. It really did make me think for 30 minutes. After 30 minutes after I read this book, I just sat down and thought about my religious beliefs and how humans interact with each other through religion. And it really was a thought-provoking book. So for that, I can safely give it a 3.5 out of 5 stars. Though I don't think I'm going to get it any higher than that because I don't really see having the pizzazz for even a 4 out of 5. But you know what? I can still safely recommend this book. So if Oranges Are Not the Only Fruit sounds like your thing, check it out. And also, this cover's beautiful. Alright, so next I'm going to show you the two books that I'm currently reading, and these at the bare maximum will get me through today, because one of them is extremely long. But I'm going to show you the shorter one first, and the one that I'm hands down finishing because I only have 100 pages left of it, and that is Don DeLillo's White Noise. I'm not really liking this, guys. I'm gonna be flat out honest. I'm not really the biggest fan of this. I love this man's writing. I will say this right now. If Don DeLillo is like, if he had a better character cast and a little bit of a better story, this would be, I would safely read it. Like, if anybody has a Don DeLillo book they would recommend over this, tell me, because I do love this man's writing, but the story really isn't much, and when the story finally did something, it quickly went out of it into just mundaneness again, and the characters are completely forgettable. I barely remember, like, 3 characters' names in here. I know there's Jack Babbitt, and I think there's, like, see, it's already forgettable. I'm not even done reading it. So, yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of this book. I'm going to be flat out honest. I'm not really liking this. But I can see myself liking a Don DeLillo book. I really can. But this is probably just not it. It's just not for me. And the last book is probably the longest book that I'll probably read during BookTubeAthon, but I hands down not finishing it during BookTubeAthon unless if I just binge it today. And that is Stephen King's Salem's Lot. Yeah, I'm not finishing this today, guys. I'm not. It's massive, and I still have 100 pages of this. Yeah, I'm not finishing this. But I'm only about 60 pages into it, and I know I'm already gonna love this. Oh my goodness, I know automatically that I'm gonna love this. This is his second novel. I've read his first novel, Carrie, and of course a bunch of other random novels in his bibliography. Like I've read Different Seasons, I've read Misery, I've read The Shining, but I haven't really gone in order. So I'm not really going in order, but I just happened to read the first 2 books back to back. So yeah, Salem's Lot. Really excited about this. This is about vampires, and yeah, it sounds like, and it's not like the Twilight type of vampires, it's like Dracula type of vampire, so that's interesting. And I always trust Stephen King, so even if I'm sure there's going to be one Stephen King book that I don't like out there, but it's just, he hasn't disappointed me that much so far. The only disappointment I can really say is The Running Man, but I didn't even finish that because I wasn't really getting into it. So, Salem's Lot is really good so far, though I'm only about 60 pages in. But this is definitely one I'm going to be binging on today, but probably not finishing, so yeah. And that should get me to the end of BookTubeAthon, guys. Now, I have not really much to say, so let me check the length of this video. Yeah, this video isn't long at all. I know this is kind of a cop-out saying, hey, you made a shorter video, how dare you? But I just wanted to get a video out there doing my final update of BookTubeAthon. Trust me, there will be a better video tomorrow. Trust me. It's going to be a review, or more. Yeah, I think it's going to be a review, but it's not going to be a Never Let Me Go. It's going to be a surprise. So that's the video. I know it was really short, guys, but comment down below what you guys are finishing off BookTubeAthon with. And as always, I'm Mega Man Chief Fan, and I'll see you later, guys.